Hey everyone, it is Aging Grateful. I'm Bobby,
I'm Cedric.
and on this video, we're going to talk about guilt, the guilt of moving abroad. You ready
Yeah,
to talk about this?
yep, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Okay, for everyone who does not know, we're Aging Grateful, and this channel is dedicated to our journey of being grateful to age, and that includes us living abroad. And a bunch of fun as far as us being over 50,
Yep,
right?
yep,
And just enjoying life, right?
pretty much.
Being grateful, and that living at this age is not the sitting on the couch and just doing nothing. But we're going to talk about it. So we actually live in San Miguel de Allende, and in Mexico, and there's some guilt that goes on.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I think don't really talk about it enough. Is that you get this kind of guilt when you up and leave the U.S. and leave your family or wherever you're leaving from, leaving your family and things like that. And the first thing on the list is grandkids. Like this one for me, I wasn't expecting it to be like this.
Okay, talk about it.
I wasn't expecting to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I miss my grandkids like that, but I wasn't expecting it to be such a big thing. Like now, we have a daughter that just had, two kids. They're young. My son just had, twins that were young. These are all within the last 2 or 3 years. And missing them grow up, watching them grow up on FaceTime is,
Is challenging.
yeah,
It is.
as much as it's just, I think you can't even explain it, but it's like you just want to be there. And then for those of you who may not know, my son had twins, and one of them passed away
Yeah.
last year, and it,
Like not even a year.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
and they were premature by a long shot. So it was a miracle they made it through. But anyways, one of them passed away, just didn't wake up, and that kind of hit me like different. And
now.
yeah, and having to go, being away and not being there.
To cherish those moments
Yeah,
of our grandkids growing up,
yeah, and
right?
they're walking. So then we on FaceTime and look, she's walking now and she's doing this, and it's just like, wow, I can definitely see people wanting to move back for their grandkids, or was trying to get my daughter to get passports and stuff, but they're living their life.
And there's a guilt to that part, right? Because
Yeah.
you're missing out, or
You're
at least
missing out,
we
and you
feel
feel
like
like
we're
you
missing
can't,
out.
or you're not helping out, or you could be helping out in some ways. Yeah, that was one I wasn't, kind of caught me off guard.
Which leads us into number two for us. Because, I don't know if you guys know, or we've shared that we had a blended family and we had 10 children. And raising 10 children was woo. But the kids are still there in their 20s, some of them are just getting into their 30s. But watching the kids struggle and do life, or they're doing things and not being able to be there, there's a kind of a guilt to that, because we are trying to, find a better quality of life. We're trying to do things, and just the difference, right? The difference between what's going on with them and then us being here, and knowing, like our kids could be doing
Better,
a lot better.
yeah, like you want the best for your kids. We all want the best for our kids,
Yes.
and when they don't want to share in the journey that we have, we're not blaming them for that because they want to live their own lives.
Which we respect that.
Yeah, so, but, there were a couple living at home, and we're like, okay, at this date, we're moving.
Right.
It's basically yanking the rug out. Like, we can't wait around forever for you to get your life together, or you to figure out what you want to do, because we'll be waiting forever. So, pulling the plug on, adult children, so to speak,
Yes.
and then watching them struggle, there's some guilt to that, because it's like, man, if we would have stayed there, maybe gave them a little bit more time to figure this out or figure that out. So there's definitely some guilt to come with that. And then, you know,
But hear us now. We know we did the right thing.
yeah, I'm not
We're
saying,
not saying we didn't do the right thing.
yeah, we're not saying that at all.
Right. We did the right thing because they actually are doing well. It's just that not being able to be there and like physically be able to coach them and be there for them or kind of nurture or guide them physically.
Yeah, and there's a couple of times, a couple of experiences that they've had that had we been there, it probably would have been worse because we would have basically,
Put our fingers in it.
yeah, like saved them from certain situations, and then they wouldn't have learned from that. Whereas now they're learning, just like kind of like most of us did, our
Bump our
age group.
heads
Yeah,
and and we turned out just fine kind of a thing. And so yes, so there's that struggle there sometimes of guilt with that.
yeah,
Yes.
and you may even have them throw it in your face.
Yeah.
You moved.
Listen. Save that for another day.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, it does happen. There is a little bit of friction in this from the perspective if you have kids, adult kids, or kids who are recently adults. I call them adult nagers because
Yeah.
they adult, but they still sometimes act like teenagers. Adult nagers, when adult nagers are out in the wild, so to speak, you can have a lot of friction. You can have some friction, and that's just real talk.
Yeah.
That's real talk. And as parents, you want the best for your kids, but you also want the best for yourself as well.
Right.
Okay. And somebody said before, if you on the plane, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first, right, before you can help somebody else. And I can't be drowning or without oxygen in order for me to be able to help you. Right. So we are getting ourselves in a space of freedom, peace, joy. We want the same for our children. But they are living their lives and they're choosing the path that they want to go down. And sometimes it's hard for us to watch them go down the path they want to go down.
Yep. Yep.
Which brings us to number 3 things about guilt of moving abroad.
Yeah.
And that is
Family expectations.
family expectations. Listen. Our family would not have wanted us to have this journey
Absolutely not.
and or this experience, right? They would prefer us to be sitting where we were or closer to them,
Yeah.
right? And live the life that they would like for us, that they feel that we deserve, right? Instead of celebrating sometimes the life or the path that we've chosen.
Yeah.
And the family obligations is real. Listen, family expectations is real.
Yeah.
Something as simple as, maybe, my mom might be going to the doctor or had to go into a hospital because she had maybe an accident or vice, something happening on Cedric's family side. But, we're not there for those experiences, right? Because we are in another country. Yeah. And so sometimes that can be challenging. It could be something that's a guilt that we deal with, right? Yeah. Behind the scenes. People always like, you're smiling and you're happy, and we are. We are peaceful. We are joyful. We are happy. We are all of the things, you know what I mean? But there is still this guilt, this certain level of guilt that goes along with this journey, especially if you have family.
Yeah, like we used to do family dinners on Sundays at our house, and I used to cook. We would do all the cooking, and the family would come over, and we'd have a good time and all that stuff. And just recently, one of my daughters was like, I asked them what they were doing for, I can't remember the holiday. She's like, well, nothing. I mean, you're not here to cook anymore, so nobody really is cooking. So I'm like, okay, well.
There's a shift that also has to happen for families too, right?
Yeah.
With you being the person that has chosen to move to another country or another place, sometimes it's hard for the family itself to adapt, right,
Yeah.
and adjust. And then there's a certain guilt in that, right, that we have to think about or talk about or work through sometimes, right? Which also brings us to number 4, which is, just missing the important things in life, like, birthdays, celebrations,
Yeah, holidays, weddings.
weddings. Listen,
We just talked about getting together for the family dinners. It's the same with holidays and things now too, right? So the family's getting together for holidays, and
we're not there.
we're not there. They may send you FaceTime, and everybody looks like they're having fun, having a good time, and it's like, okay, well, can't really partake in that.
No,
So
no. Also, like my one of our daughters, my daughter, Britt. Shout out to Britt. She's 20 years old, and she had done this beautiful performance where she was singing, beautiful performance, and she sent it to us after it was done at midnight, and
Me home when you go. I'm just fine, but take me home when you
we didn't get to celebrate or experience that with her, being her first real performance in college, singing, and we missed that. We got the video. I mean, that's beautiful, but it's nothing like being there. So, celebrating those special moments and the special times. Sometimes you may have to miss some of those, or need to miss a lot of those things that are important in order for you to be able to pursue your dreams and your goal of maybe living elsewhere.
yeah, and we got some birthdays coming up, and we're not going to be there. So,
You're not gonna miss mine though.
well, of course, I'm not going to miss hers, but
But yes, so definitely those are important things, and we have a little bit of guilt sometimes about missing those things,
Yeah.
right? However, the experience that we have right now, the things that we are learning, and the place that we are choosing to be home, I wouldn't trade the experience.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
trade it at all.
likewise. And the reason why we bring this up, because I think these are normal feelings that people have, and they start second guessing things. And we just want to say that it's normal to feel these emotions.
It is. It truly is. It is something that you valued at one point. You work hard for. You love your family. You love your friends. These holidays and birthdays and experiences and your children and your grandchildren are truly important. And that is not to be taken lightly, right? These are truly important things. Now it's about how you can incorporate those important things, but also still live the life that you are choosing to live, right?
Yep.
It's okay. It's complex feelings,
Yep.
But it's okay and it's normal to experience those feelings and those thoughts. But if this is truly something that you want to do, truly something you want to pursue, truly want to have a new life and live in a new country, it is doable, it is possible, and it's okay to have these moments where you have to pause and reflect,
Yep.
or some things may be a little bit more challenging and you're trying to figure out how to adapt, and it's okay.
Yep.
It's okay. We all go through it. It's not making us, go back to the States, because that's not our plan. But just to really talk about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just to talk about it and let you know that you're in good company, and that we are here to encourage and inspire and educate and just love on you guys from this perspective, and be real. It is a real journey. It
Yep.
is a real journey, but we love it. As challenging as it can be sometimes, we do love it. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, if you found this video helpful or you liked it, go ahead and like
Comment and subscribe.
and share this video, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to our next video.
All right. See
Much
ya.
love, guys. Peace.